one of the things that I really appreciate about you, Shaka, is the way you've instilled a culture at VCU that can sustain itself over time. And as you know, I heard you one time take the floor for shoot around with your team, and they were all going nuts. And you said, "We got to wake up the space," and that became one of my favorite phrases. But I think it speaks to a broader effort that you make and attention to detail. Just as one example, and I don't want to get you in trouble with like the animal rights activists around the world, but I read that you like to drop in video clips of animals attacking and eating other animals in the wild into your game prep. Do you still do that with your players?
From time to time, we use a lot of different footage from movies and, as you mentioned, animals. We'll use Shark Week. We'll use animals in the wild, hunting down prey. I mean, the reality is when we are the more aggressive team, we give ourselves a good chance to win with our style of play. But that doesn't just happen. It's not a given. You've got to make it happen. And there's been games where we've struggled, where the other team has really gotten us on our heels, and they've been the more aggressive team. So whatever we can do to help our guys visualize that aggressiveness going into the game, that's what we'll try to do.
And one of the more innovative things that you've done, and now, of course, a lot of other people are doing it, is you've done training with these Navy SEALs outfits where, these former Navy SEALs put together training for athletes, team bonding, more of a mental conditioning than anything else. How did that come about, and what do you guys get out of that?
Our strength coach, Daniel Roos, went through the training that they have here in Richmond called SEAL Team PT. That's completely independent from college athletics. It's just for anyone can come off the street and do it. And he thought it would be good for our guys. So the instructor, John McGuire, over the last few years has put together a specific regimen for our guys to go through. And it's demanding, it's challenging physically, but what's good for us is much more the mental toughness, the teamwork, the camaraderie, the communication, and just the understanding that to win at a high level, you have to do it together, and it takes everyone to be successful.
Mm-hmm. Shaka, you've had a very interesting journey to that chair throughout your life. That's why I love doing these shows and these interviews, because everybody has a different story, and yours is definitely interesting. And I always go back to the decision that you faced coming out of high school. Grew up in Fitchburg, Wisconsin, right outside of Madison, Wisconsin. Oregon high school, pretty good player, basketball player. You had your choice of Harvard, Yale, or Brown, and you chose to go to Kenyon College, Division III school in Ohio. I think undergraduate population about 1,300. Take me into the mentality and the life of Shaka Smart as a high school senior. What would lead you to make such an unconventional decision?
Well, it's pretty simple, actually. I made my decision largely based on the same thing that a lot of the guys that we recruit make their decision based on, which was the basketball coach. There was a coach at Kenyon College who took an unbelievable interest in me, developed a great relationship with my mother and myself. And when I visited there, I just felt a very, very strong bond with him. I visited the other schools that you mentioned. They were great schools, obviously top of the line academically. But I just didn't feel, as a kid that came from the Midwest, I didn't feel as comfortable at those places. Sometimes I look back and say, well, what would have happened if I'd have gone here, gone there? But I'm glad that I went to Kenyon. The year after I chose to go there, the coach left. And that was a moment in my life that is probably one of the more powerful moments that I've been through, and one of the toughest times, at least basketball-wise, that I've been through. Because when he left, that was like probably as close to a father figure as I have leaving my life, and that's something that I still think about to this day.